You are listening to In the Making with Mander. I'm your host, Amanda Roy, also known as Mander, and I'm here with my friend, Andy Sorenson.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, Andy.
How
How's
are
it
you?
going?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, Andy, we're going to talk a little bit about a collaboration that we're working on.
For sure.
But I want the listeners, the viewers, to know who you are. Who is Andy Sorenson?
Oh, wow. I'm a songwriter, musician, producer, mixer, sort of everything. It depends on the season.
Yeah, you do a lot of different things.
For sure. Yeah.
A lot of different things.
Grateful to be involved in a lot of cool projects.
Yeah. And I first met you when you were playing guitar for the Connecticut Art Hero Awards. And
Yes.
that's how we first connected.
Yeah,
on
totally.
social media.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then I don't remember when we first met, but that was like how we first connected. But
Absolutely, yeah.
you've been in all different kinds of settings here in Hartford.
Totally.
In different capacities as an artist. But and now what you're working on is some really cool work in creating music for yoga, meditation, breath work. So let's talk about that. Like I guess what I want to know is like, where did that come from in your life?
Totally.
And then like, how does that become music?
Yeah, so probably 8 years ago or so, in a time in my life that was challenging, I got into meditation, breath work, all sorts of stuff like that, any type of spiritual practice, in addition to other forms of spirituality. And these practices became major parts of my life every single day. Were incredibly healing. And I found, like most of us do, that art and music is spiritual. And it connected with me in that way on such a deep level when I started leaning into the other angles that I was like, why not combine these things? And I started making music for people who did guided meditations, guided breathwork meditations, all this kind of stuff. And I loved it, absolutely loved it right from the beginning. So I've done that for years for people all around the world that facilitate these things. And it's been an honor and a blessing to see the impact that it's had. So recently I decided to, start releasing this music on my own, and start putting it out under All Men Music, and to be able to reach people in a different way, not just in private catalogs, and then also just create whatever I want to create because everything else was commissioned. So it's super exciting. And like we're about to talk about, I wanted to combine my love of visual art with that side of things. So we can go into that.
Yeah. So we talked one day and you were talking about this project and that you wanted to include visual art and that there was the potential that my style of artwork could fit into this.
Yes.
So we have done one session so far of painting where I'm painting to your music. And I mean, you must have do you have a ton of tracks like this? I mean, I've heard 3 of them so far.
Yeah. 3 are done.
Yep.
4th one is just started.
Okay.
And I'm just going to continue making them in addition to everything else I'm doing. It's funny because music and art, as you know, takes so much energy. And depending on what you're doing, sometimes it is exhausting in a really good way.
Yep.
Totally positive. But this music, I find, even after a long day, I can create it at night and still feel recharged and not feel exhausted from it. And I think it's because it's sort of like the practice itself is the creation of the music.
Yeah.
Which it feels like a different thing. So my intention for this is to just keep creating it as I go in the midst of everything else that's going on. And sort of follow a path for each one. Each song has an intention.
Yeah.
The first one being Spring, which aligned with your project beautifully. Then there's the next one that you painted to as well. It's pretty dark, but about moving through heavier things and that kind of stuff, which is not always addressed, but I feel like is just as important. So each one will have an intention, and the combination with visual art is so cool to me because visual stimulus has always been a huge part for me in making music. If I can sense a scene or an atmosphere in something, it makes it way easier for me to translate that to a sound.
Yeah.
So the fact that you honored, thank you, and everyone else who wants to be a part of this and do live painting or flower arrangements or everything that's coming down the lane for this is so cool to me, and so powerful to combine all the art forms into something that hopefully is moving for people who receive it.
Yeah, it does take you to another place. I remember when you had sent me the track, I was actually working out.
Yes, yeah.
And I said to you, should I listen to it during my like cool down?
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
were like, it might take you to another place.
Yeah, totally.
And so I was like,
yes,
well,
but
so I was at the gym, and of course there was like a boot camp going on, so I couldn't like fully embrace the music. But then a lot of what I do is I lay on the floor here, and I'll just play it on repeat over and over again. And it really does do that.
Awesome.
Like it's beautiful, and it's very atmospheric. So you're like in it. And so for me, I can visualize music. So I'm like visualizing it, right? And the work that I do is natural inks and connecting the symbolism of the ink to the music. And I was able to think about spring and renewal and new beginnings and all the things that like come from the beauty of spring.
Absolutely.
And pull those inks. And then you had come over to do this like painting session where I was going to paint, and I had the list, and we looked at the list, and I think no, it was for the second song. I remember one of them said "Inner Truth," and I was like, you were like, "That's the one."
There it is.
I was like,
there
"Okay, we're using
absolutely.
we're using yellow onion skins because that symbolizes inner truth."
Amazing.
So it's been fun, and we did two pieces so far. We're gonna do another one.
Yes, definitely.
But you're also working with some other artists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, so Arlene Torres also painted to the first two.
Yeah.
And one of the songs, one of the songs is already out. That it was a song we created together last year. That's sort of like an electronic track in this world that has affirmations in it and all this kind of stuff. So a different take on things. But that was amazing. That was the first one to do it. And then we have some other people I've been talking to about things coming up. A very special surprise with some flower arrangements to each track. Really cool. Which is going to be cool. So we'll talk about that more soon, but there'll be posts all about all that.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. So I'm just honored that everybody wants to be a part of it, and it's so cool to just explore. And also, as creators, often we're looking for things that move us forward in our careers and all this kind of stuff. And this to me feels like an act of service rather than that. I mean, it all feels like an act of service now, but that takes time to get to, I think.
Yeah.
But especially something like this is just sort of like creating something that hopefully helps people with whatever they're sitting with at the moment that they can go back to. Right. Just like the guided ones, all that kind of stuff.
And it's also healing for you. Like
it is. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to
Absolutely.
me. Is like as you're creating, there's this process of it's helping you as well.
And I love collaboration, so it's so cool to have these other people get on board, like yourself, and just create and see what happens. Just let it flow.
Yeah, and just let it happen. Let it be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And you're the first person that's actually like sat and watched me paint before,
and I'm
which
honored.
was very nerve-wracking for
really?
me, Andy.
I'm truly honored that you let me do that, for sure.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I understand the creative process is sacred, and it's tough to let other people in,
Yeah, but
in any capacity.
It's a really exciting thing to do, and for me, if it's interesting to me, if I'm excited about it, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to just push myself to do whatever it is.
I think something I've been thinking about a lot recently is art and projects, specifically creation and writing, whether it's visual art or especially to me lyrics and all this kind of stuff. They call forward things that we have to look at in ourselves. And I feel like to create our best art, it's going to challenge us. And I feel like that's the purpose, because through that creation and through those challenges, it makes us grow as a human being, not just as an artist. And to me, that's like if I hear a song that really moves me, I can tell that that person went to a place that challenged them in order to draw that out of themselves. And then it also gives you permission to feel whatever they felt, and potentially challenge yourself in your own way. But it's amazing. It's just an ever stretching thing. It's uncomfortable at times,
Right.
as you said, and but it's this growth that happens from it that's profound.
Yeah. There's nothing like it. There's
No.
nothing like what art can do for us, right?
No,
Like,
it's medicine.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's expression in a
Yes.
form that doesn't exist in any other way, which
Absolutely.
is
Yep.
why it's so magical.
Yeah, totally. And I've grown to love that challenge.
Yeah.
And notice that if I feel that way, I'm probably headed in the right direction.
Right.
The
Yeah.
uncomfortable way is usually the right way.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, here we go, like,
Yeah.
But I feel like, I
feel
feel like I
that.
need to say this, and it's like on my other new project that's releasing soon, Borrowed Wings with
Yeah.
Ali Yagi. We did a lot of that with all of our writing. It's just very raw, very honest, and is a challenge at times, but it's stuff that if you really feel it, it needs to be said. And all of our favorite artists collectively have been people who do that, so it's just another angle on the same thing of like, digging in deep to real life.
Yeah.
and-
What's authentic, what's
Yeah.
really happening, rather than something that's cute,
Yeah, of course.
nice, and
Yeah.
all of that.
And,
That's-
and also like journaling.
yeah.
Artwork, especially visual artwork, you paint that on that day. That's where you're at in that moment in time.
Yes.
If you were to paint it the next day, it wouldn't look the same.
Absolutely.
And I
not.
feel like people don't think about that in music a lot, because they think like a song, you just said it, and it's like, yeah, but that's how you felt really passionately that day or in that time.
Yeah.
But the act of creating it helped you move through it, and you don't feel that way anymore. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. So it's like journaling, it's snapshotting something, and like, all of this stuff is healing.
Yeah.
Just talking about this brings the clarity to that, where it's like everything that we do in our own expression heals ourselves, helps heal others. It's incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
And then there is the vulnerability of putting it out there.
Yes. Step
That's
2.
a whole
yeah.
other level.
Yeah, totally.
That's
Yeah,
a
for
whole
sure.
other
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
So there is that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I've done this. It's gotten me through this. I've gone through this uncomfortable situation. I've gone
Yes.
through this, whatever it is. And now to share or not to share, like
Yeah.
that's where you come to.
For sure.
I have,
How do you feel about that? Yeah.
for me, my art has been so private and so personal,
Got it, yeah.
and I've used it as a tool of healing.
Yes.
So then to put it out there I was very scared, and I was
Yeah.
like, nobody's going to like this. Nobody's
yeah.
going to care about it. And it took artists, friends to push me and say,
Awesome.
Amanda, you do something different.
Yeah.
Just put it out there. Just do
Totally.
it. And I did it.
Yeah.
And by being in a group show, I was able to get solo shows from that because somebody saw my art and was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'd like to see more of this.
Yeah.
Um,
Totally. Yeah.
And in the show that I have up right now, I have poetry that is
It's so awesome.
and that's really scary for
Yeah.
me
Oh,
because
yeah,
that's like real raw.
Yeah. Well, that's like lyrics.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's definitely like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been writing poetry for a long time, but I started writing poetry on my paintings.
yeah.
And then it was like, do I put these in a show?
Yeah.
And of course, another artist is like, Amanda,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did it.
Amazing. Yeah.
And, I've
That's
got
why we
4
need community.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's so important.
Yeah, I love my artist friends that
Yeah.
surround me because they challenge me, they push me, but they also
Totally.
encourage me and love me and
Yeah,
do
both
all of those things.
I feel
Yeah.
like the realest relationships push and challenge, though.
Right.
If somebody's going to push me to be better or to do something, I would absolutely love that.
Absolutely.
One analogy that I find has helped with like the releasing stuff kind of thing is, like your friends who pushed you and said you have a unique vision and voice, right? We can hear something a million times in life and have it not register. And we can even know subconsciously that it's right or true for us or whatever it is. You just hear it over and over again, or even tell yourself over and over again. And then one day you hear it the right way. And it's like, oh, I get it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like sometimes we have to be beat over the head, over and over before we really choose it or understand it or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
That to me is proof that there's room for everything. There's room for every opinion, because if somebody said it the right way to you, that's the one that sticks.
Yep.
So like people could be moved by artwork, but then they look at yours and they're like, oh, but there's room for everybody. There's room for every interpretation and every form of expression.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you never know how somebody is going to receive it, how somebody's going to feel about it. And because you feel your own way about it.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
you are so close to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you see the reactions of other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's joy in it, there's fear in it, there's
Absolutely.
kind of everything.
All the good things
Which
that we're
is
talking
great.
about. Yeah, totally.
It makes you feel alive.
Human. Yeah, for sure. In all of our imperfection, it's just it's what it keeps it going.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so this you've got the meditation breath work that you're working on, and then you have this other project that's going on, Borrowed Wings. Can we talk about Borrowed Wings?
Yeah, so it's a collaboration between Hallie Yagi and I. We wrote all the music together, lyrics, music, everything. We're recording it all together, just the two of us. And it starts coming out on July 24th is the first song.
Okay.
Everything's just about to get rolled out. I think we're about 3/4 of the way done with all the music. And then, it's the beginning of that. So we're going to be sharing a lot very soon.
Awesome. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, putting together a lot of content.
Tons.
All that stuff.
All the content, everything,
And so what is Borrowed Wings? What is it about? Can you tell me what that is?
The name?
Yeah. Where did it come from? Yeah.
Well, I wish she was here for the interview. We could do another one if you want.
Yeah, maybe we need to.
Yeah, totally, yeah. Because I would be sharing that answer.
Yeah.
It's maybe we save it for that.
Okay. Yeah, let's do
that.
Because
I can go into it.
Okay.
But yeah,
all right, we'll do
if
that.
you want to do that.
We'll do that. You guys are gonna have to come back for more.
Yeah, we'll be back. Whole nother thing.
For
Yeah,
more,
totally,
yes. All right, so we're
absolutely.
gonna stick to the other stuff. But
No, that's fine.
so meditation music, you've been also doing a lot of like live music with yoga.
Yes, yeah.
So you've got a lot of this in this world of healing and self-renewal and self-work.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah, so let's hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the yoga thing I love. I started doing that at Afterglow studio here. Love everybody there. And that community is amazing. And I got into that, I don't know, like 3 years ago or something like that was the first one I did.
Okay.
And didn't know what to expect. I was like, I guess I'm just going to play guitar the whole time, kind of thing. And it really felt organic to me right out of the gate because of all the music I had made for that style of thing.
Right.
So it's the same kind of approach, but in that sense, it's completely improvisational.
Okay.
I follow the actual yoga class and go with them and change with people breathing up and down. I actually take the keys through different chakras to like get people up and then back down at the end. So it's really sort of more intensive than it seems behind the scenes. But I love it.
So are you like observational and then you're improvising on
to
that?
What's happening in the class?
Wow,
For sure.
That's really cool.
It's really fun. It's really fun.
I just thought you were playing guitar.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm not like just zenning out playing guitar. Like I'm actually flowing with the entire thing.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that's sort of informed a lot of this music that I'm putting out now.
Right.
And it's amazing. It's so much fun, and another thing I love. And we did one thing to start called Afterglow After Hours, which was an amazing idea from Jane, who owns Afterglow Studio, and Arlene and I did it with her, and Arlene and I improvised. I played while she painted, and Jane led movement through the class, and we did it to 4 different emotions. We did it to what was it? It was anger, sadness, joy, and bliss. Not in that order.
Okay.
We ended with joy, started with bliss, and went through the dark ones in the middle.
Okay.
And explored it via movement, music, and painting all at the same time. And it was incredible. It was like none of us had ever done anything like that before, so we're all looking at each other like, let's just see. She moved with it, led everybody. It was very emotional at times, which was beautiful. Arlene painted to whatever I was playing and everything that was going on, and we ended up with some beautiful collaborative energy that happened. It's sort of hard to explain, but it was moving for all of us for sure.
Yeah. Well, and the willingness to go into the darker
Yeah.
type of stuff. And it was like when you had sent me the songs, the song for Spring, like I really connected with that. But then you sent me
Yes.
the rest of the other two tracks, and
Yeah.
it was the darker one.
Yeah.
I was like,
And the funny thing is, that's what everyone's gravitated towards.
yeah,
Everyone's like, I want to do that one first.
yeah,
And I'm just like, whoa, that's interesting. But like we talked about that day, I think that's so important because, especially in the world of social media and all this kind of stuff, spirituality, whatever you want to call it, can be very toxic in some ways, where it's like everything's light and good and just bypassing real human existence, where we have sadness, we have grief, we have these hard emotions that we deal with. So I find it really interesting and beautiful that it's people want to dive into the darker side of things, which is where you really heal.
yeah. I love it, and just like the bell. That's in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. People are gonna have to
Yeah, the bell.
tune
the
in
bell.
and
The bell
check
from
that
the
out.
top of Montserrat.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's awesome. I still have to embroider into that painting.
I can't wait to see
yeah.
it. Yeah. So stay tuned for
That's right.
2 amazing posts from Amanda so far, more to come.
Yeah. So where can people find your work?
So they can find me on Instagram at Andy Sorenson.
Yeah.
Aumen Music is AUMEN Music on Instagram. They're all linked from my main one.
Yep.
And Borrowed Wings is borrowed.wings on Instagram.
Great.
But it's all linked
Follow
on
them
there.
all. So everybody's gonna follow those on social
Thank
media.
you. Thank you.
So Andy Sorenson,
Aumen
Almond
Music.
Music,
Yep. Borrowed
Borrowed
Wings.
dot wings.
Yes, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Great. Awesome. Well, thanks, Andy. Thanks
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much. Honored to be here. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
this is
it.
awesome. I'm so excited that we're collaborating
Yes.
together.
More to
So
come.
much cool stuff. Yeah, we've got more
Much
too.
more to come,
Yeah.
yes, for sure.
So we've done 2 paintings, but there's more.
Absolutely.
There's
Yeah.
more. So awesome. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This is In the Making with Mander. Like, follow, subscribe, all those cool things. And check us out for the next episode. See you later.